Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I am continuing my series of reviews by taking a look back at Countdown, number 20. So I've done reviews from issue 51 all the way down to this point, so be sure to check out my previous reviews with a link in the description box. So this issue was written by Paul Dini, with Adam Beechin and Keith Giffen. The artist who did the penciling was Howard Porter, and Art Tybert did the inks, and Tom Chu did the coloring. So I actually like this issue quite a bit. I think it's one of the better ones so far, especially since it's kind of in the middle here, and a lot of the middle issues have been sort of dragging. I think the comic is starting to pick up steam, and I thought the coloring on it was really good, and I thought the cover was pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and start off by talking about the cover. I like the coloring on it a lot, and I've been really interested in the Mary Marvel story arc that's been going on, and you see her there fighting Eclipso. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And we'll go ahead and start off on the first page. So the first page, it just kind of shows a bunch of different panels of what's going on. Essentially, this large computer AI thing has gone rogue, and it's called Brother Eye, but it's also been projecting a hologram of things being normal. So what it's showing here is the Justice League and the JSA and the Pentagon and the White House and whatnot. They all aren't aware of what he's doing. So we go to the next page and the scene changes, and we just skip a full page, splash page of Superman, but it doesn't really pertain to anything else in the issue. So then we go to the next page, and this whole deal with Karate Kid has been going on for ages. He was looking for a cure to an illness he has, and now they're trapped because it collapsed on them, so they're trapped in there. And then we go to the next page. So Brother Eye has been converting lots of humans into these big blue guys here, part of the OMAC project, I think, but they're his minions, and they go to Bludhaven, and he starts constructing this big sphere, which is where he's going to hang out, I guess. And go to the next page, and then there's a little kind of dialogue about Karate Kid and Triplicate Girl here and how they aren't in a relationship. And go to the next page. So then we're catching up with the Challengers. These guys have been having a really interesting adventure, I think. I kind of liked it. Actually, I like it a lot. I wish they'd focus on them more. So it's Jason Todd, Donna Troy, Kyle Rayner, and Bob the Monitor here. And they're still continuing their search for Ray Palmer, and they discuss it a little bit. And then we are catching up with Jimmy Olsen. So, yeah, you really have to follow along because there's so much going on if you haven't been reading the previous issues. But Jimmy Olsen has powers and superpowers, but they're only activated when he is in grave danger, like mortal danger. So Mr. Miracle decided he needed Jimmy to activate his powers in the last issue and tossed him in a fire pit. So he was already on Apocalypse. Mr. Miracle just did it so his powers would activate. And with his powers, Jimmy starts prowling around, and he is able to sense where Forager 2 is. So he climbs through some sewers and pops out of a grate and finds her, and takes her helmet off and frees her, but then she suddenly starts attacking him, and we don't know why. I do think it's kind of interesting that they made a second Forager during this time period, so they just call her Forager, but I kind of usually call her Forager too. It's also interesting because I think they're going to have like a romance between her and Jimmy Olsen, so that's interesting. But anyways, the scene changes yet again. This issue does jump around a lot, which I guess would be a bad thing generally, but Countdown's by and large like that, so I'm used to it. Anyways, the Monarch here has been having different heroes and villains battle in this arena. So that's a whole tie-in comic called Countdown Arena. So we see a little bit of that here, and he's having different versions of Batman fight, and he chooses the one that wins, which is the Red Rain Batman. So that's kind of interesting. And then we're picking up with the Piper. So this is a really tragic but interesting story, and I think the penciling's really good on this part. And I like the setting in the Southwest, but it's really sad because the Trickster's dead, like straight up dead. Deadshot shot him and he's dead. But he and the Piper are still tethered together, and they are tethered together with a bomb that's going to blow up in 24 hours. So the Piper is really cool. He has his magic flute, and he uses it to slow down the clock on the timer. So it's still going to blow up, but it gives him a lot more time. And then the train stops, and it's going to be inspected, so he has to make a run for it. And it's really brutal for him because he runs out into the desert, and he's all out there with no supplies, and he has to carry the body of his friend on his shoulders. So, man, they really give Piper and Trickster a hard time in this whole series countdown. I'm not sure why they get such bad treatment, but they have a really hard time. And yeah, he's out there with no water. It's going to be bad. I'm really interested to see how he resolves this in the next issue. And I'm still surprised they killed Trickster. I was shocked when it happened, really. So then we're picking up with Mary Marvel. This is my favorite aspect of this whole story, is what Mary Marvel's been up to. So she, in the last issue, actually took Eclipso's gem away from her, and they had a fight, and that fight's still continuing. So they battle here, and Eclipso actually gets her gem back, because Eclipso and the gem are essentially one. There's no way of separating them, at least not in such an easy manner. And Eclipso's crazy powerful because she blasts Mary Marvel and knocks her back, and then she does her devious way of making Mary Marvel feel guilty, even though Mary did do the right thing in standing up for herself. So Mary is left alone, and Eclipso leaves, and it's real sad. This whole story has seen Mary be lonely and left alone quite a bit. It's real tragic in a way, but I do think it's kind of a beautifully tragic story. So you see her there in space, and it's really beautiful and sad the way it's colored. So I like it a lot, but it's a sad thing too. So that's the end of the issue, and we have a little bonus at the end. This is really cool because Mr. Mind is one of my all-time favorite villains. So it's a 2-page deal about Mr. Mind, and just a little biography about him. So that's all for now. I thought it was a good issue. It jumped around a lot, but countdown issues always do. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.